So let's go through some really simple examples of some licks that are very, very common. These are probably licks that you have come across or maybe you're familiar playing yourself. And I'm going to show you the basic lick and then how to resolve the lick or how to add this extra elements of feeling onto the end. And I'm going to discuss some more universal principles and some universal techniques that you can apply to any phrase that you play. So over the last few weeks on this channel, I've been sharing the real milestones in my playing and the techniques that have really helped me improve, and I will be sharing those videos down in the description below. And in this video today, I want to talk about the light bulb moment that I had with phrasing. So we've all probably spent time learning licks on the guitar. They're a great tool to help you navigate the fretboard, and they help you reimagine or recreate some of the iconic signature sounds of some of our favourite guitarists. And that is the starting blocks of phrasing. And phrasing is basically the way that we put notes together and combine these licks in a very musical and intentional way. And arguably, becoming proficient in phrasing and having a great vocabulary on the guitar is one of the hardest things and one of the things that takes the longest amount of time to actually get right. For a long time, I thought that my phrases and my lines were just slightly too simple. And when I was listening to all the pros, people like John Mayer and Josh Smith and Kirk Fletcher and, Eric Clapton, all of these iconic people when it comes to kind of blues guitar and improvisation, when I was listening to these players, I was trying to figure out the things that separated them from myself. Now, obviously, there are a million things that separate me from those players, but I wanted to try and take away some things from their playing that didn't necessarily involve me learning anything new in terms of notes or scales, and I really started to notice something that they all had in common. For me, the light bulb moment came when I realized a few simple notes and a few simple movements at the end of any given phrase really helps give it its flavor and really helps elevate it and make it sound like it's moving and like it's going somewhere. And it really adds a sense of feeling. Once I picked up on this, I realized how pivotal and how important that was for creating that sound that they have. It's that sense of feel that they have on the instrument. It's almost the intangible thing that you don't necessarily sort of see, but you hear it in their music, and you can end up sort of racking your brains for ages trying to figure out what that particular technique is. And it is just a case of how they're choosing to finish off the lines that they are playing. So let's start off by taking a lick out of the A minor pentatonic scale, a scale that you're probably familiar with, and this will probably be a lick that you've seen before. And now I'm going to resolve this lick in a slightly different way. So all I'm doing is I'm taking the last note within that phrase and I'm just sliding and bending it up the pitch to give it that sense of feeling and movement. When you incorporate that pitch modulation, it kind of takes the ear to the next phrase. You sort of want to hear more and you want to see where it's going to go next. It's that feeling of, rather than just landing on the last note and maybe just adding some vibrato, adding a bend to the end of it, and even just a slight bend is going to really start to add some movement and some feeling to that sound. Next, we're going to look at a lick that was used quite extensively by guitar players like Stevie Ray Vaughan. It comes out of that Albert King box in the A minor pentatonic scale. So I'm going to start just by playing the simple phrase in this particular box. And now I'm going to play something reminiscent to what Stevie Ray Vaughan would have done when he played in this position. Now, I tend to refer to this as falling off the notes. What I mean by that is that you take the last note that you play in that phrase, and then you add a really quick inflection. It's kind of like what singers do when they sort of sing a phrase, is that they'll often just add an inflection in their voice to give it that sense of feeling. And this is something that Stevie Ray Vaughan did a lot in his blues playing. Another really effective way to add this sense of movement and feeling to a note is to incorporate a very fast movement of slides and vibrato. So in this example, you'll notice what I do is I play a note and then I go a semitone above and then quickly slide back to the note. So it's almost indistinguishable that it's changing pitch, but it adds a sense of movement. This can act as a great substitution to a bend. So I mentioned earlier that using these kind of small bends to kind of lead the ear and to change the pitch to make the note feel like it has more feeling. If you wanted another option to add some variety into your playing, then this is a great one to have up your sleeve. So these were the light bulb moments for me. It was that realization that just when you think that you've played a phrase, there's always a little bit more space and there's always a little bit more time to add something extra onto the end. And it's that sense of inflection, and it's thinking about how to add some feeling and how to fall off these phrases in a way that's musical. It's that is the ingredient to taking your playing from sounding perfectly fine to something that sounds very professional and more reminiscent of the pros that we all know and love. So I hope this has been a useful lesson. Like I said, this was a very pivotal thing for me, but it's something that I have worked on over the years. And what I would do is start taking the licks that you already know, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel with this stuff. It's all based on things that you are already playing. Take those licks, take those phrases, and see if there are ways that you can incorporate some of these techniques into what you already know. Think about how you can resolve those further. Think about how you can add those quick slides, those slight bends, and those extra quick runs down the scale. See if that helps and takes your playing in a different direction. I'm pretty sure that it will. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new to the channel, then do consider hitting that subscribe button. I post new videos every Tuesday at around 6 p.m. So if you enjoy this type of content and you found this lesson helpful, consider subscribing and ringing the bell to get notified of when those videos go live. And if more than anything, you just want to support the channel, then what you can do is give this video a thumbs up to help more people find this type of content that they might find useful. As always, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for checking out the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video.